We'll go get him live from the top. Live from the Golden State. Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you may be on the internet around the world. Welcome again to an edition of the Bobby Dix, Gerbal, and Friends show. I'm your host, Bobby Dix. Real news for real people. Real analysis. Real tales of high strangeness. That's what you get here. And you also get this. On the top of the news, we crack open to it today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack open this news here. And oh, there we go. Cracking in today on the Friday show again. Welcome you back. A man who we all know his MO. He plays it cool. He gets paid to do so. He gets paid to report on player hating because he himself never does it. The one, the only, Gerbal. Gerbal, how you doing, pal?
Doing well, Bobby. How about yourself?
Doing great. It's a Friday show. I got energy. To his left is a man who wrote the updated Morse code edition of the SS McHale before becoming promoted to the down periscope watchman.
I do believe he was the one that created a way to say fuck off.
He did. Yes, absolutely. More dashes than I would have thought. The one, the only Tails. Tails, how you doing? Wow, Tails is
speechless.
Wow.
Sorry, some Navy caught me.
Oh, I see.
Apparently there is, the weather today in Great Lakes Naval Station is freezing ass cold. But apparently there was a lockdown on the base for a dumbass who can't read.
Oh, I see. All right.
So
coming in hot with
no Morse code operator.
No, that was a SOS.
Yeah. This person, whoever they were was a civilian and non-military related, but worked at the base and apparently could not read how to use the gate key.
So the answer is yes, Tails does get the message in the bottles that are sent to him. So
every day.
There you go.
Today's a great day for sailing.
And to my left is a man who is, well, let's just say a lumberjack by day and a stuntman for Sabretooth by night. The one, the only Tommy Dix, everybody. Tommy, how you doing, sir?
How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing very well. Good to see you again. Good to get this show started off here. So, getting to our news segment today, and this is quite important. As you know, we have all of the international press wires feeding into our outdoor office today because we are at the PBA. Actually, no, we are at the horseshoe throw-off.
Yes.
Last weekend we were bowling. Today we're throwing.
Somebody did drink too much last night.
We're getting. Well,
what city we're in?
I'm building up. I'm building up to the 11. It's a 12 beer minimum.
Yeah.
Before I can actually throw my shoes.
Around.
So I'm building up today. I think I'm on 5. Motorworks Brewing.
Halfway to the horseshoe contest.
Yes, we're getting there. And I tell you what's interesting. And have you ever sat in traffic for so long you just thought to yourself, man, if I could just get around this traffic, then I would just be home free? Yeah.
It's where the delusions of driving a monster truck start to come into your mind.
Absolutely. Well, this particular individual thought that it would be a great idea to use the carpool lanes when they did not have an extra passenger.
What's wrong with that?
Well, we've all done it, I'm sure, occasionally. But this driver got caught. And they got caught using the carpool lanes with a skeleton passenger. Arizona police say they pulled over a driver caught using the carpool lanes with a skeleton as the only passenger in the vehicle.
Was he at least dressed with like a hat or something? Like a sombrero?
The Arizona Department of Public Safety tweeted a photo showing the skeleton wearing a hat and covered in tattered bandages sitting in the passenger seat of a 62-year-old driver's car. The department said the man was driving in the high occupancy lane on State Road 101 near Apache Boulevard in Tempe. Avoid that area if you have a skeleton. The driver was cited for HOV violations and, just for good measure, tinted windows.
It's probably why he got pulled over.
Yeah. Do you think that the tinted windows
Yeah, but it's
was
in
the
Arizona.
rub after the officer caught him? Was like,
Yeah.
oh, you fooled me with the skeleton. I'm gonna fool you with your tinted windows.
April Fool's Day, motherfucker.
Yeah. Do you think that's what happened, Gerbal?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking so. Getting a tinted window ticket in Arizona is kind of a tough thing to do.
Ooh, I see.
In my experience, anyways. I mean, a little bit different rules than most other places.
Yeah, no, I agree. Tails, have you ever used a skeleton to pass for a person just to get into the carpool lane?
Not for the carpool lane, but I did use a skeleton to get into some of the med school stuff at Georgetown.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason I did that was because I had to get past security for some bullshit reason to get into a sorority party. So
I like it.
it actually worked quite well. I was just like, hey, I gotta go drop this off at a medical building, and they were like, sure, come on in. I was like, cool. Later.
Nice. How about you, Tommy? You ever done anything as outlandish as trying to fool the cops with a fake skeleton?
No, never.
Oh, okay.
No.
I
Have
see.
you ever tried to fool the cops saying you weren't driving when you had tinted windows and they pulled you over for like a DUI or
How can you deny not driving?
Just, if you got tinted windows, just take off your seatbelt, fucking jump over in the passenger side, and
No
just throw
way.
your seatbelt back on and see what happens. I'm sure the cop is gonna be like, "What?"
That's where the robot sex doll comes into play.
Oh,
Oh
Put
yeah.
that motherfucker in the
Oh,
driver's
and,
seat.
you know,
So what? That guy.
you are very. You're a prognosticator today,
feeling it.
because segueing into our next story
Ooh, segue.
is something that, while I'm not sure we can all relate to at all, but this is something that I think could be worth exploring. And we have to go to the United Kingdom naturally for
Of
this,
course.
and and I'm gonna have to speak British while I report this news segment, because this article off the press wires was written in British.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So a mum is mortified after her daughter takes her sex toy to school and gives it to a pal. Kayla Manley's little 5-year-old girl, Mila Eisenhower, had confused the vibrator for a toy and gifted it to her friend after getting off the bus.
Oh shit.
Her pal took it home and proudly showed it off to her parents, who were unsurprisingly completely shocked. Mom Kayla, parentheses skank, shared her hilarious text, exchanged on social media, and the message are absolutely golden. The conversation started with the mum saying, "Hey, blank gave this to blank on the bus today," along with a picture of the vibrator laid out on a piece of kitchen towel.
Holy shit.
Well,
yikes.
I can imagine that conversation.
have you ever had anything like that happen to you?
To me?
Or, well, maybe, have you ever dated a chick that's ever happened to?
What color was it?
Ooh,
This guy was
call.
no particular.
good call. Good call.
That is a good call.
I'm not even
Was
sure.
it BBC or what?
They won't. I didn't even see a picture of it. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's. They won't even. It looks like it could be some type of ring, maybe.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know.
It's her husband's.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Holy shit. Now, I haven't had that issue with our kids, but I have had one of the kids, I guess, like, write something down. They had it up on the wall with the rest of the kids in their class, and meant one thing, but wrote it in a bad way.
Okay.
Like, I believe it was like, oh, I am 6 and accidentally wrote sex. And
Whoa.
yeah, just, that's your kid who wrote that, and it's on a wall for, I don't